We're going to do a quick recap on angle properties. So first one we're going to talk about is complementary angles. Complementary angles are when two angles add up to 90 degrees or a right angle. So here we've got a right angle that's been split into two. This side is 20. We need to find out what the other side is. So in order to work these out, you just do 90, take away the known angle. So 90 take away 20, which is 70. So that missing angle is 70 degrees. Next one is supplementary angles. So supplementary angles add up to 180 degrees or a straight line. So here we've got a straight line that's been split into two angles. This side is 120 degrees. We need to work out this side. So all you do is 180 take away the known angle. So 180 take away 120, which is 60. So the missing angle is 60 degrees. Next, we've got angles around a point. So here we have a full turn that's been split up into three angles. Now there are 360 degrees in a full turn. So in order to work out this missing angle, what we can do is add up all the angles that we know and then subtract it from 360. So 120 adds 70, which is 190, and then we can do 360 take away 190, which is 170 degrees. So this missing angle here is 170 degrees. Next, we're going to look at vertically opposite angles. So here we have a cross, and the important thing about vertically opposite angles is that if angles are opposite each other, they are the same, which means if this angle is 20, then this one in here is also going to be 20 degrees. The same for these two. Whatever size this angle is also going to be the same. Now, in order to work out what this angle is, what we can do is treat it as a straight line, so supplementary angles, and we know that angles in a straight line add up to 180. So if we know that this side is 20, we can do 180 take away 20 to work out this side here, which is 160 degrees. So that means that this angle up here is 160 degrees, and since this one is opposite, this one is also going to be 160 degrees. Now, to check that you've done it right, what you could do is add up all of these angles, and because they're around a full turn, they should add up to 360. Next is angles in a triangle. Now, the important thing to note about triangles is that all the angles add up to 180. So if we've been asked to work out a missing angle, what we need to do is add the angles that we know together, and then we can subtract that from 180. Now this angle here, although it doesn't have a number, we know what this is. This is a right angle, which means it's 90 degrees. So we are going to add 90 and 30, which is 120, and then 180 subtract 120, which is 60 degrees. So the missing angle is 60 degrees. Next is corresponding angles. Now corresponding angles look a bit like the letter F, and what's important about them is this angle and this angle are the same. So in the corners of your F, these angles are the same. So if this one is 130, then this one down here is also 130. When you're trying to identify corresponding angles, it's important to note that the F doesn't need to face the normal way an F faces. They can be back to front, they can be upside down, they can be a bit more squint than a normal F would be, as long as they're made with two parallel lines. So this line and this line must be parallel for you to have corresponding angles. The second thing is, once you've worked out your corresponding angles, you can then use the other rules that we've looked at to fill in all the other missing angles. So using vertically opposite angles, we can see here we've got a cross, which means this angle and this angle will be the same because they're opposite each other. And using our rule about straight lines, we've got a straight line down here. This side is 130, so if we do 180, take away 130, that will give us this angle here, which is 50 degrees. Then again, using vertically opposite angles, we can fill in this one, which will also be 50 degrees. And using the same methods, we could fill in all the angles up here. Next, we're going to look at alternate angles. So alternate angles are made again with two parallel lines, and they are in the shape of a Z. And what's important to remember about alternate angles, have I spelled alternate wrong? I have. So what's important about them is the opposite corners of your Z are the same. So if this one is 70, this one down here is going to be 70 as well. And again, same with the corresponding angles. Your Z doesn't always have to be going in the right direction. So it could be back to front, or it could be sort of lying on its side. The same rules apply. Now looking at this one again, we can use the rules that we've gone over already to fill in all the missing angles if you needed to. So again, just looking at this section, you've got vertically opposite angles, which means this side would also be 70. And then you've also got straight lines split into two angles. This side's 70, so to work out this side we can do 180 take away 70, which is 110. And then again, opposite angles means that this one is also 110 degrees. And the same would apply up here. You could fill in all the angles up here using the same rules. Lastly, we've got angles inside a quadrilateral. Now, quadrilateral is a four-sided shape. You might not be familiar with this rule, but like triangles, all the angles in a triangle always add up to 180. In a four-sided shape, all the angles add up to 360. So if we know three of the angles, we can add them together and subtract them from 360 to find a missing angle. So if, for example, we wanted to work out x, we would add these angles together and then subtract the answer from 360. So adding them together gives us 295 degrees, then 360 take away 295 is 65 degrees. So the missing angle x is 65 degrees.